let's talk Figma slots. Today, we're going to look at what they are, how to use them, how to implement them, and how to make the most of them. Real quick before we begin, if you're a big fan of myself, what we're doing here at UI Collective, check out our website. I'll put a link for this in the description, and consider supporting UI Collective Academy. You get access to a bunch of great courses, a bunch of great micro lessons, private Slack channel access to me and the team, and a whole lot more. Or you can come ask any question for free on our community forum. I respond to every question that's on there. You also get access to some great savings and resources too. So whether you want to join the community or you want to support the Academy, hope to see you online. I'll put a link for our website in the description. I also made it a goal of mine for the year to start posting more on X. Slowly getting there. So you can check out my X via the link in the description. Come interact with me, follow me, message me on here, whatever. Let's vibe. All right, so I got access to Figma Slots today, and you should have access soon too. So I'm getting a ton of questions already on working with Figma Slots. We're going to cover everything in this video, so just breathe. They're far easier to work with than you realize. Yeah, let's just get started. So to demo the power of slots, what I have here, just like some sample components, just a placeholder photo of me. Hello. This copy block, and I should set this to hug. And then just some buttons, and I don't know if I'm going to use the action bar. But anyways, so what we would have to do before without slots is, let's build like this sample card. So let's group these elements together, just call this our card component, and let's just set this to fill. There we go. Let's just add some quick padding. There we go. Create the component of this. And let's maybe just add a fill. No variables because I'm a rebel. So then we have our card component. But if I wanted to move these elements around, if I wanted the text above the image, I would either have to do the following. I would have to detach this instance and then move manually. And now I have a bunch of detached card components floating around, or I would have to add a variant and then manually make that change, which means I would have too many variants floating around. With the introduction of slots, like if you're running into these scenarios with any of your components, the introduction of slots helps mitigate all of the frustrations we would have before. So in case you couldn't tell, visual aesthetics is not what I'm going for for this tutorial, but let's recreate this using slots now. So we have our legacy card here. Let's recreate it using slots. So I'm just going to add in a frame. Let's just call it card with slots. And we're going to create the component of it and also add some auto layout. I am going to add in a frame here. And only frames can really be converted to slots. If you try to do it with a rectangle, not going to work. Let's just call it slot and then bring it inside. Let's just set this to down. Now on that frame, I am going to convert it to a slot. And you can see it gets highlighted as purple. So now when I have like copy an instance of that, I can add in an instance easily. So I can add in that image placeholder. I can also add in, that copy block. And I can also add in, that button. If I was just to set this to fill, there you go. So now what we can do here, where you can see that this is still connected to the parent component. But if I want to move things around, I can simply click in and just move it as I would normally. So it's no longer needing to detach or messy instance swaps. So it's still inside of it's still connected to the component, but I'm just able to move things around as I choose to. I can even add more items. I can have like layouts within this slot layout. So if I want another button here, copy and paste, play around with the auto layout, adjust, move this down below. So with slots, it's kind of free game to do whatever you want inside of this slot, but it still keeps it attached to that parent component. One question I've already got from a couple of my Academy members who they're playing around with slots for the very first time is they're trying to apply a slot to a frame that is not inside of a component. So now if it's not inside of a component, notice how we no longer have the ability to create this as a slot. So it does have to be inside of a component. Now, what's also nice about working with slots, and I think Figma actually did a really good job with the implementation, is maybe we want, like this is a default layout that we always want our designers to work with whenever we pull in a specific component. is what I can do is I can bring in that image, I can bring in that copy block, I can bring in that button here, and I can play around with the dimensions and the auto layout. So it's like 24, whatever. Maybe let's add some additional padding, 24, 24, spruced up just a little bit. Is I can come in here and add sort of the defaults items that I want inside of that slot to the main component. So whenever a designer pulls in the instance, what they can do is they can modify things as they want. So if I want to swap this out for maybe just a copy block, I can. But if I always want to go back to the default settings, I can always reset that instance. So you don't always need to provide designers with a component with an empty slot. And I realized this should say card with slot and not card with slots. We're going to look at slots, plural, a little bit later. Anyways, maybe I just wanted to get rid of this button for now, because maybe we want to put some restrictions or preferred restrictions around what items can actually go inside of a particular slot. Is what's nice is we can select the slot, and under here, if I hit this button, hit the slot properties, we can add preferred instances to this. So maybe we want, instead of a designer having to search across our entire design system for specific components, we can set, let's say the image placeholder and also the copy block as preferred instances. So if I was to maybe just get rid of the content in here just for now, so we just have this empty slot. And now I copy one of like an instance of our card with slot component. And I go ahead and add in an instance. Notice how those preferred instances are showing up. So I don't need to search through everything in order to find what it is that I'm looking for. So this sort of sets guardrails for your designers around what should go in particular slots, but also makes their life easier. So they don't need to search for anything in particular, where I can come in here and just easily add the image placeholder and also the copy block. We all have components here like this, like our original card, that don't have slots. Now, as I said, Figma did a really good job with the implementation of slots, because what some people might have expected is have to build new components with slots, then phase out their old components over time. But if we have this legacy card example here, where we have an image placeholder, copy block, and a button, we can simply select all of the instances of a component inside of a component, and then simply wrap in a new slot. So now on our legacy component, we simply just wrapped everything we wanted to inside of a new slot. So it doesn't actually impact us a whole lot, because instead of having to build new components, leveraging slots, we can simply wrap elements of existing components inside of that slot. So we don't need to phase out components over time. You can also use slots for different layouts. I'll show you what I mean. So let's just call this slots, and then let's just group, add some auto layouts, and just add, just 4. Let's call this just row, and then let's create the component of this. Now we're going to convert this to a slot, convert this to a slot, convert this to a slot, and convert this to a slot. Now we have a row layout for a dashboard, because I can add a widget in here, a widget in here, a widget in here, and a widget in here. I can now also customize this row where I can hide a slot. You can also do the same with columns as well, where I just bring in a slot component here. So let's just say, call this column layout. We can create the component of this, and I can convert this to a slot. Same, where I'll just copy this 4. There we go. Get rid of these. So now I have a 4-row column layout. So slots aren't always about what's inside of components like cards, without producing more complex layouts using these. How I said to breathe. See, it's not that bad. Pretty easy to work with slots. Now, what you should know is that not everything needs to be converted to a slot. I've already fielded a ton of questions, a ton of emails relating to this, where designers are saying, should I convert everything to a slot? Not everything needs to be converted to a slot. Start off with an audit around what needs to be converted to slots and how this impacts your designers and in your designs. So take time with this. I know we all like to rush to implement Figma's newest features right away, but this is one of those things, take a couple weeks. go through it with your team, with your design system team. Talk to other designers on your team around what they would like to be converted to slots and what doesn't need to be converted to slots. Because at one company, they might like certain components converted to slots, but it might not make sense for you. So there's really no one size fits all approach here. Like, start off with an audit, take your time. As I said, I know we like to introduce Figma's newest features right away, but this is one of those things. It's better to move slow. So what is it I'm planning on converting to a slot first? First off, content cards. As you saw, self-explanatory. I work a lot in fintech where we have big complex modules or cards relating to dealing with graphs. And what slots are going to allow me to do is swap out different types of graphs, move legends around, move things around to achieve different looks and feel. So if you do have complex widgets, slots can go a really long way. And one you're probably not thinking about, accordions. Having slots in the accordion is going to allow us to fill it up with different types of content, components or other visuals, which is really going to make life, pretty easy. Like, think about if you have an accordion, that's an FAQ. Instead of just having text when that accordion is open for an FAQ, maybe I want text in an image. Slots are going to allow us to do that. Components like buttons, inputs, and other basics, they do not need to be converted to slots. I know slots are really good in theory, but like, there's no purpose for you to have, a slot on a button component. Stick to more layout focused items. Hey, thanks for watching this quick one. Yeah, more videos dropping soon. I'm going to get a Claude one out sometime early next week. Anyways, if you want to watch a video where I build an entire design system, click in the top left. If you want to watch another video, I highly recommend click in the top right. Remember to also check out our website too for UI Collective Academy and also the community where you can come ask any question. Yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.